panning the mix continued. So we're going to continue on with our electric guitar, our lead vox, and our choir. So we've got our piano going to the right, our organ going to the left. You know, our guitar, we can pan wherever we'd like. It just depends on where it's going to fit in there nicely. And I think we're going to use that with some effects in just a minute. So we're going to kind of pass over that. And so our choir, we're going to do the same kind of thing as with our drums. We're going to kind of find what the natural panning was with the overhead mics. And then from there, we can go ahead and decide how we're going to pan our tenors, altos, and sopranos. So if we just do this one track. So we can hear that our tenors are off to the left more, our altos is more towards the middle, and the sopranos are up on the right. So that helps kind of further spread out our panning and stuff. And one nice thing about this is we can be pretty extreme in here because we're going to a submix. So let's say that we have all our panning figured out here nicely, and then we realize, you know what, I want our whole choir to be off to the left. So I can take my submix panning and move our choir to the left. This too shall pass. This time I'll move us over to the right. Okay, and no matter what, we still have that same kind of panning that we've set up, where we've got our overheads and room mics all the way far left and right, and our tenors to the left, altos in the middle, and sopranos to the right. So now if we kind of take those out. So we can kind of listen to it as it progresses through the song and kind of see if as more of the instruments develop and progress and play different parts, if we want to keep that panning where it is, if we want to stick with putting the piano off to the right and keep with the organ to the left. Maybe we want to swap those two. Maybe we do want to kind of move the piano back to being a full kind of all the way across the stereo field. The big thing is that we want to create some excitement so that it's not just all kind of a blob in the middle. And that's what a lot of people, when they start mixing, the panning thing, as you probably remember from the example I shared, the panning was a little bit more narrowed in when we recreated the radio and bad speakers kind of listening environment. And so when people start mixing, they do that, where they kind of push everything into the middle with their panning, especially when they're mixing on headphones, because a lot of times a lot of extreme panning seems really weird on the headphones. And some of you might be freaking out because I took and put our tenors and our sopranos so far out to the sides and they sound like they're really out there. But if you go back and you listen to that good example of the professional sounding mix as opposed to the radio and bad speakers mix, you'll notice that the panning is quite wide and things are spread out quite a bit. So there might be some things where we go pretty extreme. Maybe we'll just decide, let's put the guitar all the way over to the side, and maybe we'll kind of move the organ a little bit in the middle and widen up the piano a little bit. So now it becomes the right side is the piano, the left side is the guitar, and the organs kind of sit in the background. Okay, so there's lots of options of ways to go with that, and the big thing is to just be free with your panning. Just kind of go crazy. Put things all the way to the side and all the way to the left, all the way to the right. Make it kind of extreme and realize that you've got this whole area to play with. Let's use the whole thing. So now we've got our mix kind of pan there, and we'll go on to some cool panning effects and such. We'll move on to that in the next video.